With these,
Tim Poudler runs a farm in eastern Colorado. His wheat and corn crops are thriving thanks to rain clouds that have been unusually generous this year.
we're wet right now. We've had an awesome spring. Our wheat crop that I wouldn't have given you a plug nickel for at the end of April looks like $1 million.
Poudler, to put it in circus terms, works without a net. He's a dryland farmer who depends on good weather to make a living, not on irrigation.
When Mother Nature wants to be cooperative, we can look pretty smart. We're back the way it was in the 1950s.
Before irrigation became a mainstay in agriculture, Poudler once used wells to irrigate a quarter of his farmland. But when the Ogallala Aquifer his wells drew from became noticeably shallower, he took advantage of a federal program and retired his irrigated land, cutting his water use. The Ogallala is a lifeline for many people and lies underneath 8 central U.S. states. Some have compared the aquifer to a bank account. Too much water has been withdrawn over the years. Not nearly enough has been put back in. The concept is known as depletion.
It's just too darn many straws sucking out of a bowl that's non-renewable.
The amount of water use, farmers are major consumers, far exceeds the rainwater that seeps back underground.
Ultimately, the goal is try to sustain this aquifer system as long as possible, if not indefinitely.
Joel Schneekloth of Colorado State University says that's a challenge in an industry that can be resistant to conservation and doesn't always look far ahead.
It's getting a mind change within the communities and the producers. Unfortunately, there are producers that don't care about tomorrow. They want their stuff today.
Some of these guys are just saying, I understand the equation, but I just don't want to quit irrigating.
Some farmers feel they have no choice in places like Texas.
This drought here is the worst in my lifetime as far as economic loss of what we're going to have.
Experts are now looking at alternative crops like sunflowers and black-eyed peas.
Stuff that is very economical, uses less water, which puts less of a strain on the aquifer system.
The futures of rural towns that have long relied on healthier and more predictable incomes generated by irrigated farming hang in the balance. An interstate agreement requires farmers in this part of Colorado to retire 25,000 irrigated acres, or more than 10,000 hectares, by 2029.
It'll be interesting to see how the last little bit plays out. I have no prediction. I would think we can make it work.
There's no 100% cure-all for any of this.
Similar efforts will be required across all 8 states to preserve an aquifer that supplies drinking water to millions and helps provide food to many more. Hendrik, Sybrandy, CGTN, Stratton, Colorado.